Hello. There seems to be a number of concerns. Not concerns me personally, but collectively, I think first world societies are concerned about a little thing called inflation. Well, economists like to say that when you change one thing, two other things have to change inevitably, invariably in economics. There's no really tool that governments can control this command economy sets all the prices anyway. There are some tools. Think of fiscal policy with an F. Government spending, government taxation. The primary motivation behind it is to provide things like good roads and basic medical care. But the economy has to grow. Most governments want to become richer. The economies become richer, so they get elected again. But a lot of decisions like hiring and income changings could be a safety net during hard times. But you don't want to print $50 trillion in 1 year and bail out a bunch of lousy corporations. Sound fiscal monetary policy must be adhered to with regard to interest rates. And the central bank is like a single agency, but certain monetary policy must act in lockstep with one another. That also would inflect inflation, the industrial output, employment, or the supply of money that is available. The industrial type is to make an economy run smoothly, need more and more output, and to have infrastructures could increase the amount of goods or bads put out. But an economy has to be able to do these things, or the prices will decrease. Quality as such is very important. China's quality is really bad. If most businesses are shuttered without a notice and letting output go down a great deal, prices will go up. Cost push inflation is really bad. It means everyone's bleeding money. They're making more money, but that money is devalued more because the dollar has less bang. The economy can't really bounce back. And the suggested way to deal with it is to ensure the economy invests in infrastructure to make the skids go a little smoother, grease the skids a bit. The employee is very important. If everyone has a job, it could affect such policy. If unemployment will drop to low, would also cause a spike in baddie behavior. If everyone has a job, then listen, if a young person wants to start a new business, get out there, it's going to be very hard to hire somebody. Someone has to be out there looking for work, that's thirsting for an opportunity. Therefore, like growth will stall. And they've got to make a good pay. What's going to be very sad. Why would someone leave a job that pays very well to leave your job to work for you if their work is good? And a worker leaves, that's going to leave an opening. So there's going to be more money offered by the employer to attract a new person to fill that slot. Or maybe there's one person leaves, maybe we need 4 people to fill that job due to inexperience. Policies and diversity hires also complicate the matter. The labor market can't hire the talent they need, would charge more for the products to cover said salaries. Inflation will also go up a bit too. The non-accelerating inflation rate of employment it's different from different economies, but in a first world nation, when unemployment gets under 2%, inflation becomes very present danger. A lot of unemployment will would deflate the inflation. Tire inflates, deflates. But people just take the job because they need one, despite the pay. So people have the sales to get people butts in the seats, yeah? Available the supply of money. When you have to QE, quantitative easing to print more money, would make the printer go mad. It is reported that one out of every $5 now that's in circulation has been printed in the past year. That is very depressing. And the value is going down. Demand pull inflation is the consumer is spending out of control, balling out of control because they have the money. But it could be kind of scary stagflation where the inflation is still rising. So what exactly do we do about this? We want a proper equilibrium. The velocity of money must be slowed. There's too much money being printed. But there's a balance. We need a balance. Yes, let's say we're really thirsty. Turn on the water, get some water. Okay, what if we turn on the faucet? Every time we turn on the faucet, it gives us 50 times more water than we need. We want to be able to be hydrated. We would have to find ways to put use to the water. These stimulus checks are not going to be enough. The money is just out there and it's just flipping out. But you give me money to someone that says like, why do I need this money? I have several trillions. Why do I need more? The money will be wasted. Or say spent it would go towards commodities or stock options or derivatives, pork bellies, things of that nature. What people with different financial incentives would spend their money, incentivized to spend their money in different ways. The rich person, poor person, a person there who's under the area of affluence or above affluence. An affluent person would spend their money on commodities and leisure and traveling and investments. As a poor person would spend their money on day-to-day expenses, or maybe some stocks, maybe, or some savings, or a car in the future. But the money is spent less rapidly, so the velocity of money would fall down. So the pressure on inflation is spent on non-essential items. The supply of money, once more, is money being introduced too quickly, as if you were taking a dip in a frozen lake and jumping your body headlong instead of putting your body finger by toe, by foot, by hand. It would cause a downturn of pressures. Loss of money is something that needs to be find equilibrium. The person needs to find a cap on their own personal spending and to explore this within their household. This cannot be done by household to household. The government must rein in spending, to incentivize institutions for spending money it does not have. Inflation is an immediate and clear and present threat. Existential. It's not existential because it's absolutely tangible. It's here. It's just the point of when it's going to strike. We're not free of hyperinflation or stagflation. It is very, very present to us. Pressures are contacting the down pressure, the upper pressure, equilibrium. Governments are trying to keep their neighbours afloat. However, it's going to have to be a payment. It's cash in at the end of the year decade or the century, whatever, you had to pay the packaging, the high-income earners and the low-income earners. Okay. Could you speculate about this? Right now, we just hope that it's managed carefully and that we plan around this presentness, where ever presently this threat of hyperinflation, deflation can be offset a bit, but it will come to bite us in the arse. Fadila Agrobete, François Parfait, tu sais parler français, prépare l'avance. La leçon de gloria comienza. Les principaux acteurs de gloria, binami, chauvinisme, sin esfatier, de notre actuellement acheté avoir aidé compétition vissée. Pour y aider en bon à l'heure actuelle, ils sont en train de mesurer les bons. La voilà, on filme ou la compétent. Du que l'on peut compter. Le voilà, on filme ou le compétent. Du que l'on peut tout compter. To perform stunts, speak French, excellent. Just, I know how to French, ready-made. The needful Laurie, how is that? The chief actor in Caligula's uncle. Beloved chauvinism. That's the end of our tranquility piece. Acquisition windfall. The idea undone. Vise waters. Have an idea that really, aha, they are in the midst of eating the assets. There she is, a woman whose competence one can count on. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment, a like, and share. Thank you, and goodbye, and goodbye, and goodbye, and goodbye.